Hello and welcome back to new Tynemouth and Banished. I think we're a little stable. Look how much our fenceless cemeteries have grown. A little bit more populated than they have been. So yeah, unfortunately we did have a bit of a die-off there last couple seasons, but I think with the hardcore farming initiative we've imposed, we've got new tinneries going down, and the fact that we're now like, I don't know, 30 people thinner, there's not as much trouble as there once was. So the other thing I wanted to do real quick, before I forget too much, is I wanted to put down a bridge across... Ooh, tunnel through? Oh, let's put down a bridge over the water here, because I'd like to... Remember, we were talking about making this next area the big section for ranching if we're able... we did order some animals, so if we can get those animals in from the trader, maybe we can finally have some actual livestock. Just by the way, for the series in general, I have been thinking about wrapping it up in the next couple of episodes, probably. I don't know how long I wanted to go in the series, and I don't think, with my experience so far, it's been pretty fun, and I wanted to do a little bit more, but I think from here on out it's going to be a lot more grinding, and I don't really have the... I don't know, I think I'm not as good with the making things pretty around the downtown areas as a lot of people are. So this is mostly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if I could do a central town with all the colonial homesteads here. And I like how it looked. I think I would have approached it a little bit differently. But overall, I'm pretty happy with things. But I do want to see if we can stabilize this the save and the gameplay here. I wanted to see if we can get any animals in. But I think in Vanilla Banished, we would have been hella good, as they say. I don't know about right now. In the Colonial Charter mod, though, but do we have workers for every farm still? Yeah, we do. They're just not quite farming. Let's extend this road across in front of the farms. I'm still bitter. I'm still bitter about this one mine. I appreciate, for all those of you who've hung in here with me for the last little bit, I do appreciate that. It's been an enjoyable series. It's one of those, I don't know, it's one of the games that I kind of go to play to relax a lot, and I'll find myself thinking about it after, you know, a year or something of not playing, and I'll be like, you know what, I want to play as freaking Banished right now, and it's just a fun game to fire up and get back into. Let's see, we're actually a little bit we're running low on our tools right now. Is this because we have a shortage of something? We've got iron. How much iron do we have overall? We have tons of iron. Are we low on coal, maybe? Oh, you know what we could put down here, by the way? We'd put it down somewhere else. Where did I put that at? A general warehouse. Isn't the general warehouse somewhere where it acts as a stockpile, but it's a much smaller footprint? So if we go into... Bank barn. Ooh. Oh, hang on a minute. Did I ever see this distribution barn? A distribution barn, which can have workers assigned to it, who will empty it into the next nearest regular storage location. Functions as a normal storage... Holy crap, have I missed this the entire time? Is this how you're able to kind of chain together all of your different barns and stuff? Well, holy crap. I'll have to run a test on this. Maybe I will get a new save one day and just see if you can chain the distribution barns together. That's hilarious that I find that at this point in the game. Which barn was I even talking about just a second ago? I wanted to get the... Here we go, general warehouse, I think. Let's take the general warehouse down in this corner, because I think we have a lot of ores and minerals and things that we'd like to store as this stockpile is becoming more and more full. Do we have coal getting produced at all? I think we do, but we wound up losing a lot of laborers here. So let me go ahead and increase the number of people working at these spots. This will go across the board, I think. You know what? We don't quite need that many at the iron ore mine. Why don't we get one more here at the coal mine? There we go. That works for me. We are short on food again. Super exciting to hear. Where are we at? We're in spring of 29. You will all just stop eating, please. Thank you so much. What do we have over here? A bunch of cabins being built, because we were having people walk really, really far to the jobs, from the jobs over here, if I recall. We are trying to trash the gathering hut. I think we're going to add more farms in here, if that's what I remember from last episode. Let me kill this hunting cabin, too. I think that was the plan. What are you guys pulling in every season? 1,700 last season, 846, and finally 2,000. So is this really harming, having the overlapping circle the way it is? Maybe it is, because this fishing dock is the one that's in between two others. Let's go ahead, you know what, let's just terminate this fishing dock overall. Let me lower down the amount of people working at the fishery. Finally, we had someone die of old age. It's a nice change, right? Poor starving bastards. I'm kind of bummed I never did get to really dive into some of the more advanced animal handling things. That was kind of a thing I wanted to try out, but didn't quite get a chance to. Do we need to transfer something from the apiary into beeswax? No, produces honey as a food item or beeswax. Okay, so it produces, am I looking at this and I see both? Yeah, okay, so it's producing beeswax and honey, which the chandlery, in theory, should be turning into candles. Let me get a couple roads in front of these two buildings just to make people a little bit faster. The cooper is coopering the barrels here. We've got surstroming, and that has been being produced a bit. Fish and salt and barrels. So we're pretty much short on barrels, I'm guessing, at this point. Can I add one more person to this job? Maybe we can speed up the production. We've got plenty of logs. I don't think we're short anywhere on that. I love how we have so many logs, but they're all stored at the wrong damn spot. They're all over on, like, this side of the world, where we, you know, people have to go 5,000 miles to get. I'm really curious about this distribution barn. I'm super curious about that, and I wonder how far they go when they're doing that transfer. In kind of thinking about a redesign, I wonder if it'd behoove anyone to have, you know, like 3 or 4 central barns all in one spot next to each other. More nomads, huh? Yeah. Oh no! You guys, I thought allow would be on the left and deny would be on the right. Like, I don't know why. Oh, son of a gun. Alright, how many people did that add into the population? Damn it all. We had to remember, this is when I transferred school, so everyone went to become a laborer. Did they not count against the population yet? It must not register as a spike at the moment. Yeah, are you all... Go figure, you're all starving. Well, huge surprise again. God, at this point, though, I mean... I've got a ton of farms out here. I really would have thought at some point we would have, you know, had the best number of... You know, had a crap ton of food production, but we are struggling hardcore. What else could I drop down here? I mean, there's some more animals in here. Maybe we can put one... oh, good. We're back with more people dying. This one, someone's crushed by a rock, but we're seeing people who are starving. Those might be those new migrants, though. They haven't been able to get food yet. Let's go ahead and drop a hunting cabin back here. And we'll also drop a gathering hut next to it, too. I know I don't have to connect everything by road. I was playing Anno 1800 today, and it really made me have the urge to put everything with perfectly with roads, so I guess I've got that on the brain. By the way, super fun if you've been looking for another city builder, and in fact, I might do a full Let's Play of Anno coming up, just because it's been, it was really fun today on stream. It was really enjoyable, and a lot of the building, the way you're able to do the buildings is really fun. They basically have self-upgrading homes, or you have to trigger the upgrade once they reach a certain requirement, but it's pretty simple. You know, one level of worker needs 3 resources in order to upgrade. You upgrade them, they can work at other types of buildings. You have to manage the overall idea of industrial revolution, so you can't have too much pollution or everyone gets grumpy. So very, very interesting game. Looking forward to playing more of that. This week, too, if you're in... I will treat you as a joy of sticking with me through Banished. We are going to have an early look at Imperator Rome coming up a little bit before that game comes to release, which will be pretty great. So the embargo lifts pretty soon, I believe. So I can't talk about it too much, but I am going to be covering that game. That's going to be very exciting. And we're also looking into XCOM 2, if that's more your style. Although I feel like if you're here with Banished through this many episodes, you're probably one of those folks like me who really enjoys the city builder life. Let's speed things up just a bit. Is there anything else we want to accomplish before the end of the series? I could just, you know what? I could just say let's put down a bunch of housing, although we do have a lot of houses waiting for stuff at this point. Let's go ahead and finish off this corner of our inner circle, or I guess our outer rim of housing. We'll put down, I think we've got some more fancy, yeah, we've got fancy housewares up the wazoo. Remember, because we had the trade goods, we had all of them are over at the trader right now. Let me go ahead and cancel the construction of this one. Let me make this corner house first, as everyone probably starves around me. It's their own fault. Okay, I can do that, and then I think I can do some more townhomes in here. And then we'll do one in this spot right here. Love the way these look. Hey, we do have a merchant. Let me slow things down. I want to finish off designating these houses. And we'll see if our merchant friend has brought us any goodies. This is too long, so we can't build these houses here. So I think I'm going to go back with a colonial homestead here. And we'll stick a... Oh, we can't stick anything there because it won't fit. Actually, I can probably trash this building. No, this one. And we'll build ourselves a larger one, a homestead, right there. Perfect. Okay, great fit. All right, back over to our trading friend. What have you brought us, my friend? You have brought us iron. Not the stuff I really was hoping for. Fancy furniture. We don't need you. We actually are probably set on that aspect. We don't have any statues or anything, but I think at this point we're pretty happy with where we are in our industry. It's just mostly the freaking food problem. I bet if we had our own, you know, if those llamas would have lasted, I still don't know how they all disappeared. I have no idea what happened to the original llamas we had. Did they starve? Was I supposed to have a type of food that they wanted? I honestly have no idea. I don't know if I'll ever know the answer to that. We will stick another colonial house down here as well. I do like how the colonial houses look stacked next to each other. Maybe I should have done everything as colonial houses with fancy homewares. You know what I mean? That could have been really nice on the inside as well. Had the outer row as just all these row houses here. Nothing but artisan homes. Are they different style or are they all pretty much the same? No, they would have been like carbon copies of each other. I do how they like how they look though. Alright, all of you are about to harvest, right? It is late summer, so you have plenty of time to harvest all of the chickpeas, all of the turnips. So hopefully we're going to get a huge food bumper harvest here. I pray. I pray to the gods of Banished and RNG. Maybe there was a bonus to something, to growth or something, and maybe my calculations were off in how big a field had to be and how many people you had to have working at the field. They just don't seem to be harvesting fast enough, you know what I mean? Maybe I should have had a little bit smaller. Well, here comes more starvation, crushed by a rock. Starvation, whoops. God, I don't know. We really are having a tough time here. We're completely into autumn. Is it because they're so far away? Maybe I should have done a bit more decentralization and had had farms over with batches of housing and stuff like that. I just have trouble understanding where the goods go once you get into a much bigger town. I guess I just don't know how the goods are transferred and how your citizens choose to go, get the things they need or want. I'm going to speed things up and power through this next starvation season. I'm really curious to see if we can get enough food out of this harvest, although it's almost like it's going to hit winter and then everything's just going to be dead. Oh, lovely. An outbreak of scarlet fever. That's not bad at all. At least we've got a hospital nice and ready to go. I wonder if it immediately ends if your victim is treated, or is it going to spread? Oh, they're all going to come out of the farmer's college being sick. Oh, man. That's brutal. Yep, here they all come. More people dying of starvation, old age, starvation. Good night. I just don't know, I don't know what the deal is. We're in late autumn. Pretty much all of the harvest has been brought in, but we're still starving. That is so crazy. I just think that if we would have had a little bit better luck with the whole animal side of the house, we would have been in much, much better shape. Here comes all the crop die-off. So there's still quite a few crops here, 20% yield, that weren't harvested. So that's basically food going to waste. I don't know, again, maybe these were too big. Maybe they should be brought down a notch because of the distances involved. Maybe the calculator that I was using was under the impression that they'd be going from like point A to point B. Do you know what I mean? So like it was right next door. They were assuming you had housing right next door to the farms. Uncertain. Do we have any improvement over last season's fish? 2,000 fish there. 1,700 fish here. So that was a little bit better this year with this fishery being torn down. Hey, we've got seeds. Holy crap. Apricot, oranges, watermelons. Let's go ahead and grab the oranges. And I think I'm just going to do oranges at the moment. I don't know how much more room I've got or how much, we've got to sell. We'll sell off 10 of our building supplies. I think I'll sell off some of our fancy homewares too. Holy crap. Oh, that sold 5 at a time. This should do it. We're a little bit over here. So, oh, we're overpaying by a bunch. Okay, hang on. Jeez, do you only need just a couple? Overpaying by a few units. 4? Okay, on the dot, 2,500. Okay, so we will take your orange seeds, and I think I'm actually going to change one of these orchards over to oranges, or I can just do nothing but freaking orchards all across the river here. I have no idea. This might be a good chance to try out that fancy distribution barn, actually. If I put the distribution barn, say, here, will you actually do the distribution? We can find out. Let's go ahead and put down a bunch of orchards. I'll do 8 by 15. Again, I don't quite remember what the best calculated distance is for a one-person show. By God, we're going to have oranges up the wazoo. We're going to have so many oranges, people are sick of oranges forevermore. Where's my road at? Let's see. I think this is the spot right here. Okay, let's put a road all the way across all of our fancy orchards here, and we'll connect that with our other road, and cool. We'll just have to wait for those to get finished up and built. What are you complaining about? You're a stone cutter that doesn't have a place to cut stone? Okay. We did have someone die of scarlet fever, even though we have been treating them. That's not bad, though. That's supposed to be a pretty severe outbreak, from what I understand. God, this food production, I don't even know. Brutal, absolutely brutal this year. Maybe I should be building much more on the bend of a river so we're able to get more access to fishing. That could have been an option that I did a little bit better. I appreciate all your suggestions, by the way. Oh, we're out of firewood. That's convenient. I think at a certain point, my plan of centralization is just falling apart. So I think it's just a failure of design more than anything else. I think maybe a decentralized approach would have been a bit better, group the houses together. And I honestly think that people are pretty happy with their wooden homes. There's no reason to absolutely go into these fancy pants colonial homesteads and whatnot. So I could have stuck with groupings of, 6 or 8 wooden houses together and have little kind of hamlets here and there spread out across the map. That would have been a little bit nice to do as well. But then your problem becomes, training, educating all the people, getting them all the tools and things like that. So there's ways to go about it. We can learn a little bit more. I would appreciate you guys if we do, I don't know, if this is the last episode, like I mentioned before, I'm not sure how much further I wanted to go in this Let's Play. But at this point, I think I'm obviously struggling with the food production issue. I don't know if that's going to get resolved or not. And rather than have you guys sitting here waiting for everyone to die, I might just go ahead and say that's that. We did get most of the inner circle of houses done. That was my original goal, was to make this fancy centralized kind of homestead look to it, which was pretty nice. Maybe the inner area is too big. I do like the church and some of the service buildings being in here. I could have probably dedicated more of the internal space to production too, to keep the production chains down. I'm sure I could have you know, something that comes from two different places. For example, if you're having resource A come from here, resource B come from here, I could have been, you know, put the producer inside so it's right next to the central market. That could have been an option. So lots of different things. I don't know if that central market ever really came in handy or not. But yeah, if you guys in the comments below, give me your idea of an after-action report, as we called it in the military, when we something happened and you're basically talking about it later to see what could have been done better. I'm curious to see what you think we could have done kind of as an improvement to prevent the whole starvation issue. Let me hit this upper limit of logs way up above where it is now so that these logging forester lodges get back to work. I think the problem is that these two sawmills don't have any logs to work with. So we're only relying on one sawmill giving us firewood right now. We're going to have people freezing to death and starving to death. It's just going to be a great old time. This is how the Roanoke colony was lost. I was in charge. They put Tobel in charge of the Roanoke colony, and everything went to shit. I will say I do really like how the Colonial Charter mod adds all the different, you know, things to it. I think they were really fun to play with. I'm just wondering if it's too much to deal with, especially if you're... I really haven't played with Colonial Charter before, so it was a kind of a new one to me to go deeper into the game. Let's add a couple more farmers, or orchard growers, if you will. I'll add one more in preparation for the next orchard. Here we go. Alright, so we've got a bunch of oranges coming in. What do you mean we're missing one? Where did you get assigned to? One of these farms has 2 people working on it. It's gonna take me forever to find it. Okay, you got assigned to your job. Excellent. So you're gonna plant your oranges. Those are probably not gonna get harvested anytime soon. I think the milking would have came in handy too. I just think that we tapped out the availability of the domesticated animals pretty quickly on, and that import we were never really able to bring back more animals. It seems like 110 is my upper limit before my my society completely collapses in on itself. If you guys have still played the game, by the way, I would love to see your screenshots. If you want to come into the Discord. We have a couple of channels. I don't have a dedicated channel for Banished at all, but you're welcome to drop down some of your pictures of your Banished villages and tag me. So I'd love to see what you guys, how you design your cities and how you prefer to do your layouts. If you're playing a Banished playthrough, it's been a long time since it's been out, so I doubt many people are still playing the game. But hey, I challenge you to show me more designs. I want to see other ways to play the game. That way, maybe next time I come back to it, I'll have a better, you know, a different approach to it. Maybe we'll do more decentralized, or maybe I'll tighten everything up a bit and have much more pre-designated areas. I know I did kind of smush our food production in here without really a lot of planning, so that could have been a different option as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this Let's Play. I had a blast with playing Banished with you all. I think I'm going to try to keep a regular city builder or like kind of a management type of game going, if that's your thing, because I am a big fan of those games just as much as I am an RPG or something like that. I really like management games. So if you guys are into something like Anno 1800, if we're talking about something along the lines of maybe more of a management style game, like the Airport Tycoon type of game, Airport CEO, there's so many management games. There's hospital building games, Project Hospital, 2 Point Hospital, tons of management games that I would love to sit down. And these are the problem games because they're never ending, so you really have to set your own limit on where we're at. And no, Mr. Trading Post, Kristen the Forger, I do not need anything of yours, but you are the last trader we will ever see, so we bid you a fond farewell, my friend. But thank you all so much for joining me and New Tynemouth. It has been a fun little Let's Play. I look forward to bringing you more gameplay down the road. Again, like I mentioned, if you want to stop into our Discord, you will feel free to drop the link or see the link below this video. there's a invitation to the Discord channel. Feel free to jump in and say hello. If you'd also like to support the channel, we have options on Patreon and on Twitch as well through the subscription link. If you'd ever like to do that, no worries. If not, no big deal. We're going to keep making videos because that is what I enjoy doing. But if you ever want to buy me a monster, I will tip one back to you, my friend. Thank you guys so much for enjoying this series with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. Otherwise, take care.